everybody, welcome back to Pixie Roo. Today's makeup tutorial I'm going to do for you is of Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. I am going to do a tutorial with the products, but I'm also going to talk through them, how they work, how you can use them, which ones will work for you, which ones may not work for you. I have worn them already for a whole day and I have my feedback on how they work. So I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Pixie Roo, and let's get started. First of all, I have to say that I absolutely love that she's opened her brand with 40 shades of foundation so that everyone can feel part of this brand and that they belong somewhere. A couple of other ranges that do a lot of foundation colours, but they have been going for a lot longer, so absolute respect to Rihanna for coming out straight away with 40 brands. Makeup Forever, 40 brands, 40 shades. Makeup Forever also have 40 shades. However, they're very, very hard to understand, their shades. MAC have 46 different colour shades, but they've been going for years. Estee Lauder have 33 different shades of colour in the Double Wear foundation. So there are some brands that do a lot of shades. But I really, really love that she's opened it with this. That is setting the bar very, very high. Right, let me pop some products onto my face. I also love that she wanted to try and do it for every single skin colouring. So she has touched with the yellow undertones, touched with the pinker undertones. I do love that she's tried to make everyone feel part of this brand, which is really, really good. And that her ethos behind it is that women everywhere feel included. However, one thing I want to say about that is I think that men should feel included as well, because if when men want to wear makeup too, go for it, I love it. Right, I need to pop some moisturiser on my skin before I start with these products. Now, my skin is extremely dry, so I need a little bit of something underneath for these products to work on my skin. For one, I am 37, so I'm a little bit of a maturer skin. And these products are very good coverage, they're very strong coverage, and probably suited more to a slightly oilier skin, combination to oily. If you've got dry skin and you don't have any lines or any wrinkles, perfect. If you've got dry skin and you have fine lines or you're creasing around here, it's going to be a difficult product for you to wear. So let's pop some moisturiser on me first, and then I'm going to start with the primer. So this is the Fenty Instant Retouch Primer, available at Harvey Nicks and Sephora and some other places as well that I don't know. And this is £24, which is a really good starting price. I'm going to use my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to buff that into the skin. Now, they do have brushes in this line. I wasn't sent any. They probably know that I have a brush line, so I didn't send them, which is fine, because I wouldn't have used them anyway, because these are the best. So I'm going to work that over the skin. Now, what I found interesting about this primer is it goes on very, very radiant. It sets very, very matte. So for me, it's a little bit too matte. But if you have oily skin, which loads of people have, or normal combination skin, this is going to be great for you. And I think £24 is a really, really reasonable price. So you can see it starting to sit on my skin and look a little bit flatter straight away. So it hasn't got too much of a radiant glow to it. It's more of a, I'm going to hold this in place, which it definitely will do. It doesn't feel heavy or tacky on the skin. It feels like I've got nothing on, which is a win. I'm then going to take the Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Foundation. This is £26 and I'm going to pop that over the skin. I'm only going to do one half of my face with this because I want to use the concealer stroke foundation on the other side so you can see the difference. So this is the foundation. This might not be my exact colour, but this is the colour that they sent to me to try. It's pretty good. Now, you do need to choose your exact colour in this foundation because it has a very, very full payoff. So this is great for someone with a slightly oilier skin or that wants a very, not very full, but I would say medium to full. There are foundations that are heavier in coverage, but this is pretty good in coverage. I'm using the same brush as I used for the primer to work this into the skin, so it's already got a little bit of slip, because had I have put this onto dry skin, it wouldn't have budged at all. Now, first time I wore this, it went very dry on my cheek area, and I do have very dry skin at the moment, and it seemed to break up a little bit, especially when I put another product over the top, which I will come to in a minute. So it does look lovely. It's a very, very medium to full coverage, and it stays on really, really well. So it stayed on my skin really, really well. On the other side, I have got all of these. I think the packaging is very much like the Burberry packaging when it first came out. I think it's very similar. Even the Fenty Beauty kind of looks like the Burberry that they had on the front of that. So let me find out what I have. So I have then got these matte sticks. Some are matte and some are shimmery. I'm going to start with the matte one, and I'm going to use it as a foundation first of all. These two are probably more contour. These two are slightly more a foundation concealer colour for me. Bear in mind they come in loads of other colours, so don't feel, oh god, they come in loads of colours. These are £21 each. Now, these are, I always find that these kind of stick concealers a little bit drying, so I'm just going to spritz my face with a little bit of, this is Fix Plus, because I want to use it as a foundation, just to see the coverage that it gives me. I'm going to start, I like that there's so many colours, so if you have lots of different colours throughout your skin, as most of us do, you can mix them together, and like I said, they're £21. So I'm going to start with the lighter one. I'm going to take that under my eye. And then I'm going to go in with the darker one. And then I'm going to take my same brush as I used before and just buff that in. Got a little blemish on my neck there. Let me cover a bit of that. Now, the thing with these is it doesn't specify where they can be used, so, or what they actually do. So they can be used as a foundation, they can be used as a concealer. It's totally personal preference. I'm going to use them as both. Now, I really like that finish. Now, and anyone that watches our channel regularly will know I don't like things that have got powder particles in to set them into place. I like something that's really, really dewy, but then again, I'm 37, so I'm always going to opt for this sort of side. Even though this one does have a nice glow to it still. Right then, so that gives you an idea of those. I'm going to use that one as a concealer on this side as well, so we can have a look. And I'm going to swap brushes because I want a slightly denser brush so I can really blend that in. Take a bit on my here and here. Then I'm going to take an Expert Concealer brush and just buff that in. Just move that camera in a little bit closer so you can see how the products are really sitting on my skin. I've also tried not to use too bright lighting because I want you to see exactly what the products look like rather than, you know, I think this lighting will help you see it a little bit better rather than to lighten it too much. So like I said, I've worn this all day and I like it, but it does look like more makeup than I would personally normally wear. But if you're someone that likes that fuller coverage, you're going to really enjoy it. I'm then going to take the contour sticks. The colours that I was sent were Amber and Mocha. Amber is more of a colour that I would go for. It's the kind of colour that if I have no makeup on and my eyes are really dark underneath, this is the colour darkness of my eyes. It's a very flat, stony kind of colour. It doesn't have any warmth in, which I absolutely love because a contour is meant to be a shadow. It's meant to push the skin back and look like you've got depth. That's why they call it a contour. So this one definitely does that. It's almost like a purpley tone, if you see, but once it's blended, it should be invisible anyway. And for contour on me, I would only put it here. I'd put warmth through the rest of the face because that's the only part I would want to sink in. I'm going to take a clean sculpting brush and just buff that in. It blends really nicely and almost disappears, which I love. I like it to almost blend in. You can see there's something there, but I don't have a sharp line. And that is what makeup artists look for. Something that creates depth, but doesn't show that you've definitely got something there. It's all meant to be kind of hidden. So you're like, something's going on, but I don't really know what. So that one's Amber, that's also £21 and that's the perfect colour that I would go for. This one here is Mocha, it's a little bit darker for me, but I'm going to just run it through the top of the hairline because it's a little bit warmer. So for me, it looks more like a bronzer than a contour. but for other people it would be a great contour colour. I'm going to take a little bit. I'm going to just blend that, and then I might take a little bit on my brush to do the rest, because if I use it straight from the stick it's going to be too dense. So it's just going to warm up and ruin my hair, but warm up my hairline a little bit. Let me take a little bit on the brush. And that can be just brushed over the top to give me a slight warm glow. I've then got some of the shimmer sticks. These are also £21 and they come in so many colours. I love that because so many of them would be great on darker skin. I actually wore this on my lips and I really liked it as well. So I'm going to start off with a couple of colours that will work for me. The first one is Trippin', which is this kind of corally tone here. And I'm just going to wipe that on the top of my cheekbone. And I'm going to use my fingers just to buff that in. Now this works as a kind of semi-highlighter for me. It has got a slightly corally tone, so it's a little bit too much for my skin tone, but I quite like that kind of blush that it gives you throughout the cheek. This would be amazing on someone who has medium dark skin. It might be a little bit too light for someone with dark skin, so beware. But they do loads of colours. This one would be amazing on dark skin, which is that one there, which I might put on the apples of my cheeks, we'll see. Then I'm going to take this will be amazing as well. There's so many colours to choose from. I'm then going to take this one here, which is called Starstruck. This is also £21 and I'm going to run that on the top of the cheekbone. So the first colour I put a little bit more over. This one I'm getting right on the sharp part of the cheekbone that I want to really highlight. This would be nice just through the brow bone too. Now one thing I will say about these is over the top of this side foundation, which is the matte foundation, it does break it down a little bit. I can see a slight movement of the foundation underneath. You could use a brush to apply it, but the sticks are quite firm. I think a brush wouldn't allow it to be applied as well. So it does break it down a tiny bit, but bear in mind I have quite dry skin. However, on this side it hasn't broken down the products at all. Okay, next. I'm going to take this one here. This one is Rum and it is a beautiful highlight, but I'm also going to use it as a eyeshadow base. Now I use it on my eyes, but like I said, these are quite firm and they do drag a little bit, so you do have to rub with it a good amount. I think it's quite cold at the moment, so that probably isn't helping with it. I like to use my fingers to warm it up a bit. But it is very, very beautiful on its own. Well, all of these colours will work on the eyes depending on your skin tone and what sort of finish you want to create from it. See, that's pretty on its own, isn't it? Okay, then we have eyeshadows to try over the top. That one was in Rum. So these are the highlighting duos. I've got 3 of them here. We have got Girl Next Door and Chic Phreak. I have got Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal, and then I have got Ginger, Binge and Moscow Mule. All very, very beautiful colours. I think I might use this on the eye, which is the Ginger, Binge and the Moscow Mule, just because they'll sit nicely over the palette that I've already put on there. I'll start with this side, which is Ginger, Binge. Now I really like the texture of these. I love the shimmerness of them. I think they have a nice payoff and they sit well over the top of the Rum that I already put on Shimmer Stick. Highlighters are £26. Now they can be used, and they cover every tone again, they can be used on the cheeks and on the eyes, whichever you prefer. I like that she hasn't specified exactly where the products need to go, because let's be honest, there's no rules. If it works there, use it. Unless it says do not use on eyes, in which case obviously don't. I'm then going to take a little bit of Girl Next Door, which is the slightly pinker tone one, and I'm going to run that on the top of my cheekbone, and it will cling to that. So gorgeous. Where I put the concealer, it should just grab itself onto there as well. And then I have a little bit of Fire Crystal, which is this one here, and I'm going to just take that on the very little bit there that I want. It's a slightly different tone, so it's just creating more depth there, and that can also cling onto that brow bone too. Then a little bit of Chic Phreak, which is the one that comes with Girl Next Door. Let's just try that through there, just because I want to try them all. I then have a Lone Ranger eyeshadow. This one doesn't need to be partnered with anyone because it stands out on its own. This is £26 and this is Trophy Wife. And let's try a little bit of that. It's literally mesmerising. It's beautiful. It's got such a nice shimmer through it and glitter flecks that really capture the light. And it is the sort of colour you can really imagine Rihanna wearing. I'm going to run a little bit of that under my eye as well so you can see it on its own, in its own glory. Next I've got the Universal. This is basically a blotting powder. It works for every skin tone, which I think is great. MAC do one, blot powder. Theirs comes in 3 or 4 shades actually. This one says it works with every skin tone. Obviously I don't have every skin tone to test it on, but on me it is fine, but then that's not too difficult. Now I really like the payoff of this. I think it disappears into nothing and makes your skin look like you don't have a powder on. I think it's a really, really beautiful powder. This is £24. Just gonna pop that into the areas where I want my skin to just sit that little bit flatter. I hope the camera is picking that up. It's a very, very beautiful powder. Now I've powdered the skin, I'm going to take a little bit of this shimmer stick. This one is in Rediiic. I'm going to use my finger. I don't want much payoff from this. I'm just going to push it, and I need a bit more than that. I'm going to push it over my cheeks to add a little touch of colour there. Warm it up a bit so it moves around a little bit. Now I put this on my lip and I really love it on my lip, but I also like the gloss. The gloss is such a beautiful texture. But I want you to see this on the lip. I think that's such a nice colour. It's a little bit dry to be worn on the lip, but definitely no more than the liquid lips because I just don't like the feel of them. But it is such a beautiful colour with no lip line. It kind of just carries itself. So I really, really like that on the lip. However, it depends how much you like a dry lip. I actually think the texture of this one feels quite nice on the lips. But I just want to show you the gloss as well on its own because it is beautiful. I think this is a universal colour that anyone can wear. So if you're going to bring one lip gloss up, this is a great colour for it to be. Now I actually really do like this lip gloss. I think the texture of it is, if you remember or if you've used MAC Plush Gloss, they have a really, really glossy finish to them. They do tingle a bit because they have something in that makes the lips tingle. I think it's a little bit chilly. However, this one doesn't have that, but the texture is really, really nice. It just wears off. It doesn't go gloopy in the corners of the mouth. It just wears off beautifully. You don't have to keep applying it so that it doesn't look a bit scummy in the sides of the mouth. This is £16 and I think this is a beautiful gloss. The rest of the makeup I think is great. I think they're really, really great prices. And I think she's come out with some really good stuff considering it's the first bash at it. The foundation is obviously a little bit too much for me, but then I'm a 37-year-old woman, so I wouldn't normally wear something that heavy. Not to say that you can't, it's just I wouldn't. I do, however, like the other side with a little bit of Fix Spray or Avene water or something just to buff it into the skin so it looks like it's part of your skin more than something sitting on the skin. The highlighters are lovely. The stick highlighters are nice but don't sit as well over this heavier foundation. The Trophy Wife eyeshadow is beautiful. I don't know whether it's really a colour that I would go for, but I think it is stunning and on a darker skin tone would pop and look absolutely wicked. So that is my review of the Fenty makeup. They also sent me some little blotting sheets which are refillable. So it comes with a little thing with a little tear which is super cute, and a mirror on it. And it has a little bit that you can, you pop your gloss in there, you pop your roll of blot sheets in there, has a little tear sheet so that you can tear them off nicely, and you can carry that around with you, and it's really cool to get out of your handbag. So the little pack is £13 and the actual blotting sheets are £8. So you keep hold of that and then you renew with the blotting sheets for £8 whenever you've run out and you need some more. And I like that. That's quite old school but brought into a kind of new current time, which I think is really cool. So that's my review on Fenty Beauty. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also if you have any other makeup brands that you would really like us to review, then I'm more than happy to do it. I've still got to do Charlotte Tilbury, which I will like because I like a lot of her stuff. NARS. There's so many brands that I can review, so please just say which brands you would like and I'm more than happy to do it. Take care and I'll see you next time.